Hello, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in as always. So where am I this time? Today I'm in Guildford. If you don't believe me, there's some signage behind me there, just in case you didn't believe me. Where am I going today? Well, come along with me and we will take a look. Okay, so I've hit the main high streets. All your kind of typical high street shops along here. It seems quite pleasant. Not my first time in Guildford. And not the first time in the record shops that I'm going to visit. We've hopefully got two for you today. But I haven't been for many years. This was way before I started YouTubing, probably way before I even started watching YouTube, to be honest. 9 years ago, I think. But they are still here, still trading, and still have very good reviews. So hopefully they're not too easy to find. I can't quite remember where they are, but they are close to here, so I might have to consult Google Maps in a minute and find them both. Okay, almost there. So yeah, as usual, I went in completely the wrong direction and overshot where it is. So it's down this little place here called Tunsgate. So this is, I don't know if this is a main high street or North Street. I think this is just called High Street. As you can see, some nice architecture, nice cobbled street. Yeah, got a good sort of nice historical vibe going on. So yeah, let's keep going, almost there. We've arrived, it's here, the first shop, and it's open. Ben's Collector's Records, so in we go.
Same place if you like, just out the way. Thanks.
I'm so sorry, let me just check that. Which one do you want for this? Four, yes.
Right then, peeps. Oh, where to start in that shop? Seriously, where to start? Anyone who wants what I would describe as an Aladdin's cave, that is one to go to. That was amazing. Now, I had a brief chat with Ben in there, very busy because the footfall, I've never quite seen anything like that. And I'm not just talking since doing YouTube, I'm talking since I started collecting records. That was so busy in there. It's Wednesday today, it's midweek, it's a working day. So, and the amount of people coming in and out and buying and dropping records off was quite astonishing, to be honest with you. So he clearly is busy. But yeah, he has been trading. I think he said he's been actually trading in records for 41 years and that shop's been there for 30. So yeah, it's incredible. And prices are amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's the sort of place you want to go for your bargains. Every genre catered for, absolutely everything. I won't go through all the genres because we'll be here all day. He sold everything. And I came away with plenty at really, really, really good prices. I've heard that Ben's got a good reputation in the town, and that is totally justified because he was chatty with absolutely everyone, very welcoming, smile on his face, clearly loved what he did, clearly very, very knowledgeable, and was happy for me to film in there. I have to say it's lucky that I managed to get footage because just after I paid, the footfall decreased a little bit, and I managed to do it because all the while I was digging and looking for what I got, or looking for records and picking up what I got, I was kind of making the decision, oh, I don't think I want to get footage in here, it's just too busy. But I just about managed to get a moment where I felt I wasn't kind of invading any other punter's privacy. Ben was happy for me to do it, so I did the best I could. I've been criticised for my shaky camera skills. Look, I'm doing it now, look. Oh. But that's what YouTube's all about, isn't it? As I always say, it's not Netflix, it's YouTube. This is what we do. Blogs are, it's amateurish. Anyway, I'm rabbiting on here, so I'm now on my way to the next shop, which I haven't even checked if this place is open. So we'll go and have a look and see how we get on. Okay, so I've just been walking along thinking, where is it? And bang, I've hit it. Collectors Record Centre. Well, it says Collectors Record Centres. I will inquire if there's another one. Are they part of a chain? I will try and find out. But here it is, a little bit more off the beaten track. The actual main high street is back that way, but it's about a 5-minute walk. And bus station right there. Train station is kind of back that way. So it's as easy to reach as Ben's. So good luck me. In we go. Let's see what we can find. Okay, that's me done. So the last shop, not bad. I only came away with 2. I didn't bother to film inside in this one. I just didn't. It's more of a collector's shop. That one, there's rarities there, but it's kind of across the board. Pricing I found a little bit all over the place, if I'm honest with you. Probably with a nod to being maybe a little bit over the odds. I mean, there were things there that I would have snapped up immediately, but I just felt I could get them for a little bit lower elsewhere. It's a good shop. The owner was very friendly. I had a little chat with him, and as I say, I did come away with 2 decent bits that I was after. So it's okay. I would recommend it. I know for a fact that he's been trading for years, so he must be doing all right. I think maybe I just get a little bit spoilt sometimes looking for these bargains. People are obviously going in there, and he's obviously providing sort of good stock. So if you're in Guildford but you actually want the collectibles, that is certainly the place to go, definitely. So let's cut to wherever I go to show you what I bought. Okay, so back home, and it's the next day. I didn't really fancy doing the show and tell bit when I got home, so here I am. But anyway, that's edited in, so that's not relevant. Right, you're going to have to bear with me. We've got quite a few to get through here, so I will bang them through as quickly as I can. So just to reiterate my previous thoughts, because it's nice and easy to actually reflect the next day, sort of, the shops you've actually visited. Ben's Collector's Records was absolutely superb. And it was an experience, I would say, this is a proper old school style record shop. A complete Aladdin's cave. If real crate digging is your thing, that is the place to go, because you will not come away empty-handed. I'm not sure if my footage really did it justice. I always do my best. And as I said before, I was actually lucky to get any footage at all, because about sort of, the whole hour I was in there, the place was absolutely rammed. And do you know what? It was all ages in there. It was basically teenagers with their parents, male and female, right up to retired blokes. It was, across the board. They did tons of CDs and loads of cassettes as well. Loads and loads of original cassettes all along the walls. Yeah, it was like a sort of museum in there almost. But what a shop. Absolutely brilliant. I can't wait to return. The Collectors Centre in Guildford, very, very good. Completely different type of shop. It's very, very well laid out. As I say, prices maybe a little bit on the erratic side, but really, really worth a visit. Really worth a visit. And I did come away with a couple of bits, but you will find rarities in there. He did have some real collectibles. Whether he'd be up for a deal or not, I don't know. That will be maybe for you to find out if you ever pop in there. Right, so let's get on with these records. So these are the ones from Ben's, first of all, because they're the most plentiful. So first of all, we've got Fisher's Ed. This is their debut album called Word Salad. I've got the second and third records by them. Very, very good band, kind of post-punk, new wave, power pop. Very, I don't really know what more to say to them. If you like that sort of thing from the late 70s, with anything with a bit of a punky edge, this is a good one to have. This is a nice first pressing on United Artists, original inner. Needs a bit of a clean, but it's in lovely condition. Nice sort of custom labels there. And yeah, very, very good. Yeah, I've had my eye on it for a while, so it's nice that it turned up. A good start. Right, okay, this one. This is a cheap record. This is a very cheap record. This is by Hank Marvin and John Farrar. Now, Hank Marvin was in the Shadows. What appeals to this record, for me, is the fact that they were both in an outfit called Marvin Welch and Farrar before this one. Obviously, Bruce Welch, another ex-Shadow, wasn't involved for whatever reason. I don't know why. But those records by Marvin Welch and Farrar are excellent. They are really, really, really excellent. Oh, someone's kicking off here. Right, bear with me. Right, he's calmed down now. Thank goodness I know how to edit. Right, I was talking about Marvin Welch and Farrar. They did two records both in like 1971, or it might have been 72. Self-titled and Second Opinion. And I love those records. Second Opinion in particular is a brilliant record. It's like amazing kind of power pops, slightly progressive, a little bit psychedelic and folky in places, but I love it. And if you see them, I urge you to get them, because they do turn up and they are not expensive at all. They can be found for under £10. But this one, I'm hoping, is more of the same. Again, very cheap, only cost me £6. Released on EMI, whereas the Marvin Welch and Farrar were on Regal's Onophone. But yeah, I haven't actually talked about Marvin Welch and Farrar at all on the channel. I mean, at the end of the day, I can't deny the influence of the Shadows. There's no denying that. All of the bands I listened to from the 70s all rate Hank Marvin as the greatest guitarist, and I get it. I'm not personally a fan. It's a little bit lightweight for me. And then they kind of regrouped in the 70s and beyond and made, I don't like to put music down, but it was lift music for yuppies. Oh, goodness me. It was absolutely dreadful. But if you agree with me on that, and whether you do or not, if you're a Shadows fan, please don't take offence. This is only my opinion. But these records, as I say, I haven't played this one yet. I haven't played any of them. Marvin Welch and Farrar are brilliant, and I'm hoping of more of the same. So if you do see these, pick them up. They are very cheap and very, very good. So a bit more of a rarity with this one. This is an upgrade copy for me. Van de Graaff Generator with The Least We Can Do Is Wave to Each Other, their second record. So it's an upgrade, but it's still not perfect. We've got a little tear there. I mean, this was priced very, very nicely. It really was. But the cover's got wear, but every time I see this for sale, there's cover wear. This is the third copy I've ever owned. The first one I ever owned was really knackered. Second one a little bit better, but this one actually looks the best, so I had to pick it up. It is an original on the Pink Charisma label. It's not a first pressing. Now, there were two different mixes of this album. The earlier mix is far rarer, and early pressings came with a poster, which bumps the price up, probably sort of, puts another 100 on the price. It's not present. I'm not going to lose sleep over that. This is the later mix. I've only ever had the second mix of this album. I don't know what the first mix sounds like. As I say, it is much, much rarer. It was withdrawn. So this is the one I'm used to, and I'm quite happy with that on the early label. So yeah, the condition of the record is pretty good. There's a few sort of hairlines on it, but it looks better than the one I've got at the moment, which is a little bit on the rough side. So yeah, nice pickup. Okay. This one is Happy Family by Blancmange. I can't comment on Blancmange. Do you know what? I've heard them mentioned in the VC many times, and they sound like a band that would really interest me. I think they are a sort of, interesting new wave band. and I've had my eye on for a while. They're just one of these bands that I sort of thought to myself, if I see any of their records at a decent price and in decent condition, I will pick it up, and that's what I did here. So I believe this is their first record. Obviously, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. And it is on, I think it was London Records? Yeah, London. Customised labels there. So I'm looking forward to playing this one. It does look interesting, from 1982, but musically I can't comment too much. I should add at this point, as I've just said, I haven't played any of these records yet, apart from the ones that I'm replacing. I haven't played any of them, so I can't comment too much on the music. But if you stay tuned for future videos, I will be doing lots and lots of vinyl spins, and I'll be digging these records out again and actually discussing the music on them. So it's a good excuse to subscribe and stay tuned for future videos. This one, I was really pleased to pick this one up. This one's kind of been eluding me, and it's not really that rare at all. This is a band called Snafu. The album is called Situation Normal. It's their second album. I think they only did 2. I'm 99% sure they only did 2. I've got their first record. They're a super group. All of the members had played in at least 1 or 2 other bands in the late 60s and early 70s, and they formed this one. It's on Worldwide Artists, WWA. Who featured the likes of Groundhogs, Black Sabbath, Gentle Giant. Quite a short-lived label, actually. I was going to go into the history, but I won't do that here. So the first album is hard rock with a little bit of a country vibe and funky at times. Whether this will be more of the same, I can only assume it probably will be. But it is a beautiful copy. It's got a nice kind of like textured sleeve. It's like a sort of what I would call a cotton textured sleeve. Linen, that's the word I want to use, linen. Reminds me of, Waddington's playing cards. Anyone in the UK who knows Waddington's playing cards, the really good quality ones, they've got that linen finish. This is the same with this, and you do see this on records in the early 70s sometimes, when they used to sort of, texture their sleeves and make them all elaborate. But yeah, nice price, amazingly good condition, looks barely played. There's a tiny hairline on it, but apart from that, it looks absolutely near mint. So great to pick this one up. So here's an artist that I've spoken about before on the channel. Keith Christmas. The album here is called Brighter Day. The album I featured before, which I bought 2 different copies of, and I know I've posted them here on YouTube. Fable of the Wings on B&C Records, which is, in my opinion, one of the best kind of acid folk records of the early 70s. It is absolutely brilliant. He's actually signed up with Manticore Records here, which is home at the time of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. So they obviously liked what he did. Got a nice label variant on Manticore there with the green and cream. This one has got so many different musicians playing behind him. I mean, I can't really do it justice here, but if you look at the sort of tracks, you can see lots and lots of personnel listed. And there's people, so many different names, several from King Crimson. But yeah, I reckon, there are so many different names from so many different bands backing him. So this must be much more of a produced record. I don't know how folky it is. We can only see. But yeah, it was only £6. Yeah, very nice pickup. A very nice addition. Pleased to get that one. Okay, one that's been on my radar for a while. This is called Jonathan Kelly's Outside. Now, I first became aware of this. It was another YouTube channel. I'm going to say, I think from memory, this was once shown by 6 Inch Pianist. And as far as I remember, I think he did a little needle drop on it, and I liked what I heard, and I'm like, ooh, that sounds good. That sounds right up my alley. And I put a sort of watch on it on Discogs, but never actually sort of bothered buying online. But anyway, this really nice copy has turned up. So what I heard from it is kind of, it's quite a funky band. And again, a lot of these musicians played in other bands at the time. I mean, Chaz Yankel, he ended up in Ian Dury and the Blockheads. He was actually, I think, the co-writer of most of the big hits. He was like Ian Dury's sidekick through the heyday of the Blockheads, from what I remember. But yeah, an interesting one. I mean, Jonathan Kelly, I've got an album by him, and he was like a sort of folky singer-songwriter. But what's puzzling me here, and I do need to look it up. It's called Jonathan Kelly's Outside, but I can't see that Jonathan Kelly's not listed in the credits at all, and I don't know if he's even featured on the front cover. I don't know what all that's about. Maybe, and he didn't even write the tune. So I don't quite understand sort of what's going on there. I'm going to have to look it up. I should have done my homework before I filmed this, but I didn't. But yeah, this is a lovely copy. It's got the original insert, which I didn't know it came with one, but it's there, and it's on RCA Victor. So yeah, it was great to find that. Nice and cheap. Very, very good. So in the kind of bargain section, because he did have everything I found was well priced in Ben's, but he had a kind of section that did say new in, but it did feature sort of, I would say, lower priced records, and there were just hundreds of them, absolutely hundreds of them. And I found this in here. Now, those of you with a memory may remember I showed this a few months ago, this album, not this copy. I bought it elsewhere. However, the sleeve on the copy I bought was quite warm. The record was absolutely fine. However, this was sitting there even cheaper than what I paid last time, and with a really much, much nicer sleeve. So this is Colin Blunstone, Ennismore. And the fact of the matter is, I mean, the copy I bought before has been played a lot. I think this album is amazing. It is beautiful. It's very easy, and I always keep saying it, to use the word underrated and overlooked. But when it comes to this, I really, really think it is. Really think it is. This is absolutely first-rate, solid gold singer-songwriter material. He's got such a great voice. He was previously in the Zombies, as you may well know, but his vocals are so sort of breathy, and this is such a well-produced record. And this was just £5, so cheap, and is in absolutely amazing condition. I was a bit gutted because as I was flicking through, I was like, I really hope there's more Colin Blunstone, so I want to get other albums. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. There wasn't any more. His first album is a top one at the moment. But yeah, for £5, I couldn't, I got this right at the end of the sort of digging. I couldn't resist. Just an upgrade copy. Why not? It'd be silly not to. Finally, from Ben's, this was also in the cheap section, and this is actually the first record I picked out. This is by The Peddlers. This only cost £4. Now, I discussed The Peddlers on a much earlier video this year because I got another album of theirs, and I must confess I haven't even played the thing yet. Dreadful, isn't it? But the reason I started picking up Peddlers is because I heard a track on the very popular TV series called Breaking Bad, which me and my wife rewatched, but we sort of binge watched it over a couple of months earlier this year. And there was a track by The Peddlers that I loved, Shazammed, and looked up. And I believe the track in question is on this record. Again, I should have looked it up before I filmed. Naughty again. But yeah, £4. Nice clean copy, apart from a couple of hairlines. The sleeve's okay. It's a mono copy. So yeah, pleased to pick it up. Just so cheap. £4, nothing, is it? So that's everything from Ben's. So we'll just get on to the two records from the Collector's Centre. Oh, by the way, I did mention in the footage that I was going to find out if there were more Collector's Centres out there. I didn't. I forgot. So I can't answer that question. So first one, this is an upgrade copy of a real favourite album of mine. This is Procol Harum Grand Hotel from 1973. The record I've got is great, but yeah, when I bought it cheap because the sleeve is so grubby. Really is really not not good condition at all. But I've played the album for years and absolutely adore it. This is such a good record. It's beautifully produced. It's orchestrations. It's in my view, out of everything I've heard from Procol Harum, this is the best thing they ever did. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's not a difficult one to find. So if you're a fan of good quality prog rock from the early 70s, this is one to have, and I think this is one that's, again, not discussed enough. It's on the green chrysalis label, pretty tatty, and I'll replace that. And it does come with the original booklet, which is in pretty tidy condition, a little bit creased, but it is nice and clean, and again, better than the one I've got. So yeah, nice upgrade, nice addition. And finally, from the Collectors Centre, we have this. It's the Mathematician's Air Display by Pekka. Now, I don't really know how I came about to sort of want this record. Someone must have posted it on social media, but I've never really seen it. And I don't know much about it, to be fair. It's listed as jazz rock and prog rock on Discogs. But he was actually a guitarist from a band called Wigwam, who I think were from Finland. Certainly from the Scandinavia area, but I think I'm right when I say Finland. And the Wigwam album, they did several, but the one I've got, which was released on Virgin, is brilliant. A really good prog record. But this one is also on Virgin, and it is produced by Mike Oldfield. It's got the original inner and is in absolutely spotless condition. Needs a bit of a dust and a clean. But it is listed as jazz rock and prog rock on Discogs, but I can't really say too much more about it other than the fact that it looks kind of up my alley and probably is up my alley. So there we go. Now, also, I should give a mention to another shop I went in, but I was in there in and out very, very quick indeed. In a nearby town called Godalming. We stopped in Godalming on the way home from Guildford, and there is a shop called Record Corner. I will put a picture up on the screen. And as I say, I was not in there long, and it was a decent shop. It was all right. It has new and pre-loved. The stock, I wouldn't say it's rammed with second-hand stock, and the prices were a little bit erratic. But I picked up a couple of bits of interest, and they also had a sale. They had a sign outside saying 20% off everything. Now, I think these records were priced quite reasonably anyway, but with 20% off, it's even better. So the first record I got, which I was really pleased to pick up, is this. It's a mini album by the Rain Parade. It's called Explosions in the Glass Palace. I've got the 2 studio albums by Rain Parade. I think they only put out 2 full-length studio records. There's one called Emergency Third Rail Power Trip, which is unbelievably good. It is one of the best examples of neo-psychedelia in the 80s. But I was kind of unaware for years about this one, and came to my attention recently, and there it was in the shop. Not bad condition, a little bit of wear, but the record is okay. But this was priced at £10, which is pretty good, but with the 20% off, down to £8. So that's very, very nice. And finally, nothing sort of big hitting, but I still thought this was a good one. It is Pleased to See the King by Steel Eye Span. And it's a really nice copy. I mean, these sleeves, which is a sort of Hessian textured sleeve, very nice. They're very, very prone to wear. It's got the original insert with it, and it's on B&C Records, and the record is, it looks nigh unplayed. But that was priced at £7. So with the money off, we're down to about £5.50 on that, which, I mean, this record doesn't sell for much. It's probably a £10 to £15 record, but I still thought, even without the discount, I would have bought it. But for £5.50 for a really good copy of this, that's very, very nice. So Steel Eye Span is kind of folk rock from the early 70s. I'm sure many of you all know who they are. I've only got one other album by them. I can't say I play it that much, but be interested to check this one out, see what it's like. Right, that is everything. That's it. What more can I say? I can't I can't praise these shops enough. But Ben's Collectors absolutely stole the show for me on that day out. What a shop! I would urge you to take a trip to Guildford, which is a very, very nice place anyway, and very easy to reach. Train, bus, car, whatever. It's easy to get to. It's it's not far outside London. But yeah, yet another great shop, and I will definitely be returning. He did mention that he organises record fairs every so often in the Guildford area, so I'll try and put a link up if I can find anything to the record fairs, because I actually wouldn't mind going to those. I think what's also great about it is Guildford is a good shopping town as well. I can take my wife along. She is happy to go off to the high street to do her own shopping, so she's very keen to return also. So it is definitely a day out that we will do again. But yeah, what more can I say except another great shop that you should check out. So until the next time, please stay tuned for more videos. There's plenty more coming up, hopefully. Thank you for tuning in as always. So until the next time, take care and thank you very much for watching.